What's going on? We getting bigger and bigger, better and better, and we shitting on anybody and everybody who said we aren't who we are. Lions, lions, lions. Today is a great day. Today is a great day. You know what I mean? And I'm back, Lions. So sorry for the disconnection. So sorry for the disconnection. But listen, um, we getting bigger and bigger. We getting better and better. And we're shitting on everybody who said we're not who we are. Um, I just want to come in here and check in with y'all and really, catch back up with the vibes. See how y'all feeling. See how y'all doing. And the past couple of days for me have been great. And I think that's great for me. I'm moving forward in life. Um, I'm not looking to at the past. The past, really doesn't phase me anymore. Um, you know, and I think the thing about the past is that people think they give themselves more props than what they actually have for real. It's like, and it's corny, if I'm being honest with you. Um, few days for me have been amazing. The past few days of me for me have been great. I really went through this. Every time, I'm always going through these. Uh, how do I say it? I'm always going through these phases where I go inward within myself and I will just work on myself and I just realize a lot of different things. And I think one of the biggest things that I've realized is just how to move forward, you know, how to move forward, just how to move forward for me, you know. I think everything for the past couple months, um, even though I've been doing this for about 6 years, I've only been going live for about a year. You know what I mean? And this has really evolved my career in such a great way. But I think I was tying so much of it back to people, places in the past. Things that no longer matter. And I think what I'm remembering or what I'm waking up to, it feels like, is it's about me. You know, I was giving too much energy to people that don't matter anymore. You know, and I think it feels good. It feels great. Like I've rearranged a lot of concepts as far as just. I think one of the things that I'm learning is just like accepting myself. You know what I mean? And I think like that is one of the most hardest things that I've. It's like because I'm one of those people. You think you get to a point in life where you think you're put together, you think you have everything together, you think you're there, and then life hits you with like a whammy, and it's like, no, you have more work to do, you have more like healing to do. You know what I mean? And it's like I'm learning that like I say a lot of things, and it's like I mean them, but I feel like life is asking me, do you really mean them? You know, and it's just as far as like, but it all ties back to me. I feel like my dreams are tied to me believing in it first. And it's like it's deeper than like the music. It's about me believing in myself. Because as much as the confidence that I portray, that I give off, it's like I still could work on the inside. I still could come a little bit harder. And by coming a little bit harder, I mean like I could heal myself and love myself a little more, if I'm being honest. Um, and it's like I think coming on here and really talking and going live and expressing myself, it really gives me a sense of like, just like I guess talking out my thoughts, because it's like I always have thoughts within my head, but it's like when I come on here, it's like I know what I'm saying, but it's like I'm talking it out, and I'm giving y'all real life engagement of my life and the things that that I'm going through in real life. You know what I mean? Um, everything is not, it's like I feel like I'm going through an ego death, and it's like I ask myself, why do I continue to go through these ego deaths? Like, why do I think I get to a moment, but it's like I love it. If I'm being honest, I love it. I love going through ego deaths, but it's like this one is deep because it's like I think for years I tried to run away from myself, and I don't know how to describe that, but I'm just saying it, you know. I think for years I tried to run away from myself, and it's like I've put up this mask, and just this area of my life tied into my creativity. It's like I'm the mask is being ripped away, it's being ripped away, and it's like I feel vulnerable, but I like it. It's like I like it, but it's scary. I'm not gonna lie, it's scary. Um, I appreciate all y'all in the comments. I appreciate all y'all in the comments. But it's scary, and and I feel like this is the real deal. If you get my drift, like I'm saying it's scary because I feel like this is the real deal before I step into what my this visibility, before I step into the main spotlight for real. These questions and these are the things that an artist goes through, you know. Um, and I think one of the main things that is important to me is that my artistry is tied back just to me being a person, you know, me being myself. And that all ties back to me just loving myself. And I think as much as I've tried to, portray that, just not just with y'all, but just with myself in life and everyday interaction, I've really learned, that is tiresome. I think another thing that I have to get comfortable with, and I'm just being vulnerable with y'all, behind the scenes, is being perceived. I have to be comfortable being perceived. Oh, that makes me so nervous. I don't know why, but it's like I know this is my dreams. This is what I'm meant to do. But it's like I have to be comfortable with people perceiving me, you know. And I can sit up here and tie it back, to me being, 300 pounds, you know. But it's like it's deep. I'm past that. The weight has been lost. I look different. I look good. But it's like people don't talk about after you become attractive, just the things that you go through. You know what I mean? And on top of that, just the mental strife, just everything, everything just adds on top of everything, on top of everything, on top of everything, you know? And I think I just have to be comfortable being perceived, you know? I have to be comfortable being perceived. So I'm becoming more comfortable with that, because if I can't be comfortable with that, I can't be a superstar. You know what I mean? And that's just the truth. Um, I feel like, another thing is that I'm not really focused on, like I said earlier, I'm not really focused on the past, and I really mean that. It's not any beef with me. Mason Jyree don't have beef with people. I say what I say, and I meant it, and you can take it how you want to take it. You know, um, but it's just like I'm really moving forward. I'm really moving forward. I really mean that. And I think another thing that I need that I realized throughout this recent ego death, I'll say, is that I have to start like really feeling the things I say. Like when I say things like I'm gonna make it. It's like I have to feel it within myself. Like I'm learning to like. It's like I feel like I was projecting that outwardly, so people would like give me, yeah, you're gonna make it. But the thing is, I have to believe that within myself. Like, and that feels not loud, but it feels assured. You know, that feels it feels it doesn't feel loud. When you really accept, your who you are as a person, it doesn't feel like when you really accept who you are as a person for real. It doesn't feel loud. It feels what it is. You know what I mean? And that's just, where I'm at. I think this point in my life, I'm facing fears that I thought I was gonna be, scared to face. I'm doing things, that I thought I was gonna be, scared to do, you know. Um, and I think it's just important for me to just always be vulnerable, always be open and honest with myself, And it's like, but one thing I can say about me, y'all, is that I don't like sympathy. Mason Jyree don't like sympathy. You know what I mean? I'm keeping it real. I'm being honest. You know, it's like the past is the past. But and I have to move forward. I'm built on constant progression. That's how I evolve. I can't be stuck. in draining situations. And I'm bringing that up because I just I'm past the past. I'm past the past and the shenanigans. You know what I mean? And it's like I always tell y'all I'm changing, I'm changing, I'm changing. And it's like, damn, you're gonna always be changing. But it's like I'm asking myself, when am I gonna get to the point of like I'm there, you know? I'm me, you know? And I think that's one of the things that I'm just gonna, go throughout just out the course of my life and I guess throughout my career. But once I do unlock myself for real, the the world has yet to see it. But it's like I just have to get there. I told somebody today, I was like, I feel like I'm just like waking up. It's like I'm trying to like wake myself up. It's like I'm trying to like pump myself up, and like wake up. You know what I mean? And it's like I can't describe it for real. Um, I really can't describe it if I'm being honest, but it's like I'm just trying to wake up. I feel like a lot of times me doing what I do, we look at success, based off of how it is in a movie. And I'm starting to tell myself that like this is my life. I'm not watching a movie, so I can't like anticipate it. I just have to go with life, you know. I just have to go with the flow of things and like stop trying to like orchestrate my life from the outside in, like from the general public's perspective. You know what I mean? It's like I think I need to focus on like, living life and also just doing what I'm doing. You know, I think not. I think I know. Um, a lot of people from my past are like, it's just I'm just over it. I'm just over it, and I want them to know that I'm over it. I'm moving forward. Yes, I'm gonna succeed. Yes, I'm gonna be great. Yes, yes, yes. But I'm also still gonna be a person. I'm also still gonna heal. I'm also still gonna do great things. Within myself. I'm also still gonna be whole. Yeah, Mason Jyree. Yeah, I am. Because see, my thing is not just fame. My thing is just about living in fame. I'm still a person. I still want the person experience, the human experience while I'm here. You know, people are gonna love me. They're gonna love me. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, that's just that. That's really just that. And when I say the whole, human experience thing, it's just more so like, I think sometimes society gets caught up in the whole facade of just, the celebrity culture and just everything like that. And I just think, I know, I want people to remember me as still a person, living life, like meaning I still want to experience going to the grocery store no matter my fame. I guess I'll just be shopping with a bunch of people around me. You know what I mean? I still want to be able to like, have children, maybe if I wanted to get a degree or, just live life, still live an everyday human life experience. I know that that won't be possible in some cases, but I want to do that, you know me being able to relate to people, you know what I mean? Um, Me just being vulnerable and being myself and being, being Mason Jyree. Mason Jyree, I think that's another thing that I'm becoming more like aware aware of or that I'm doing is compartmentalizing or meshing who Mason Jyree is, and I know who I am, but it's like I really gotta start shitting on these hoes, you know. I really gotta start shitting on these hoes. So I need y'all to make sure while we're here, I'm gonna need you to make sure that you're getting me on Facebook, Instagram, because I might not be going live on here much longer. I mean, I'm not gonna say that, but I don't even know why I said this shit. But I just gotta really level up. You know what I mean? And I mean as far as just like everything, everything. You know, it's like I'm done with the back and forth. I'm done with the people who thought I wasn't gonna make it. I'm making it. I'm doing great. I'm doing phenomenal. Let me read some comments. Um, it said, believe in yourself when you become popular. Reading these comments. I think I might be on here for a little bit with y'all today. I'm just gonna take my time and really just vibe out with y'all. I may start coming on here a little bit later. I really have to learn. Like, I really have to start giving a scheduled time for when I'm gonna start coming on live, and I'll do that. And in this next progression of my life, sometimes I'll be moving too fast. Sometimes I'll be moving too fast. But I really have to start giving a scheduled time, because this scatteredness, I want a sense of community. I want to talk to people. I want to talk to people who support me and uplift them while doing that. You know what I mean? That's just what I want to do. So I'm reading these comments for real. So about pray for me. I do need y'all to pray for me. If you really support me, please pray for. If you can't do anything else, pray for me, because it's people that's plotting. um, yes, yes, I really appreciate all. One thing I can say is that I want this community so we can grow, and I can really pour my love for real, for real. It takes time. It takes time and it takes room for things to develop. So I think starting today, and y'all have my word, is that I'm gonna post once I get off live, and I think about a scheduled time that I'll be going live every week. Because I have to start doing that. Um, and as time goes on, I will come on the live, you know, I will come on the live and I'll talk to y'all and communicate with y'all. Bigger is out right now. Ain't no lover boy FR is out right now. My album is getting finalized. I just know everything is gonna be a good experience. It's gonna be an immersive experience for me and my fans, my supporters. And I have different type of fans. My fans don't. I think people today associate fans as beneath the artist. My fans, y'all are with me. Y'all are with me. So with that being said, my fans, it's an immersive experience. I'm ready to include y'all in this, and it's a deep loyalty that I have for y'all, and I know y'all have that for me, and it's really evident. Um, and I'm really appreciative. I'm really, really appreciative. Uh, and I think what I gotta stop saying I think when I know what I'm building here is something undeniable. Like, it's gonna be something that is gonna get to a point people have no choice but to not ignore me. You know, people are gonna try to. People have been shitting on me for so long, but people are gonna have no choice but to acknowledge me when it gets to a certain point. And what I care about is after the people acknowledge me, who sticks around. You know, I care about the people who stick around. You know, and I think what I have to learn is that in my head it's like this. In my head it's like this. How do I put it? Like, when I say stuff like, the because essentially what I'm saying is, like, you can have a big moment, a viral moment, but it's really about the people who stick around after you have that viral moment, because those are the course of people. Those are the core people who support you. So I think my thing is in really engaging with those people, you know. Um, and I think the thing is me telling myself that just because you have the viral moment and now you have the core people, that is not less than the viral moment. It's actually an establishment of an actual fan base. And I haven't had that major viral moment yet. And I actually think I'm building something that's more compound, like I said, and I'm doing something that people, they have no choice but to not ignore me, you know. Um, it's more so of me really just blocking out the noise. I'm throughout my whole career, I'm gonna always block out the noise, and really focus on my people, the people who show me love, and I mean that. Um, I think I'm really irritated, and I'm gonna like um, just the nitpicking, what I mean. As far as just people trying to get my energy, and I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about the people outside of the Lions Den, the people who are, have opinions about me. Um, Let me say it like this, because there's nothing wrong with having opinions. We're people. We're supposed to. But when you have wrong opinions, it's just the fact when your opinions aren't true. That's when it becomes a problem. If I'm being honest, but I just gotta really tune all that out. You know what I mean? And it's like I am, but it's like I still have to work on a couple more things, so I can really tune that out. Because this next chapter is really, I want to be around people who uplift me. So, and it's just, it is what it is, and I'm not begging at all. I'm gonna naturally let life's course do what it do because I know those people are about to come into my life. Um, I think it's like I always try to like let go. You know what I mean? But it's like I never want to feel weak. If I'm being real, you know, I never want to feel like I'm letting life just run its course a little too much. You know, I think, but what I have to realize and what I really have to start doing is like letting life do what it do. You know, but I think not. I think I'm tired of dealing with certain interactions and certain people on a day-to-day basis, and I'm not talking about people in everyday life. I'm talking about people that I'm having to deal with right now. I'm tired of having to deal with certain people on an everyday basis, everyday life, and I'm ready to get in an environment that supports me and uplifts me. And I'm not talking about case somebody asks. I'm talking about minding your business and letting Mason Jyree. You know. Um, So I think that's just very 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 important. I want to can like be challenged a little bit. I want to be challenged a little bit, and I really want to um, just I really want to just push myself. Push myself, and if I'm being real, I want to push myself. I want to elevate. I want to do all those different type of things. My main things I want to get away from hating ass people. You know, yeah, I'm ready to get away from hating ass people. If I'm being honest with you, I can't deal with it. I won't deal with it, and I never will deal with it. I think I'm just sick of just ignorance, for real, for real. If I'm being honest with you, I'm just sick of like just dumb, ignorant stuff or like just judgmental people. You know, I actually last night for the first time in forever, I wrote. I'm not gonna say the first time in forever because I don't even think I've ever done this, but I wrote a poem, and it's called "Is It Me or Them?" And essentially I was just saying like, is it me or them? Because I feel the judgment from onlooking eyes. Is it me or them that fill my head with all these lies? Is it my career? Is it me who attacks? I don't really want to read it right now, but it was just like, is it me or them? And I think I'm learning to like channel. Let me say it like this: I'm learning to like channel my fire in a great way. Throughout my creativity, I've always been doing it, but what I'm learning is that when you elevate, people try to test you. People try to test you to put you in certain situations that make you want to act out just so they can get some type of quote unquote clout off of you. you know um and the reason why I'm saying that is because that's what people have tried to do. To me, that's what people have tried to do. Put me in situations, where I lash out, where I respond crazy, or where I do, certain things. People have tried to paint this narrative of, and it's not people that matter anyway. It's not people that are touching me in this aspect of my fan base or the people that I'm connected with or in real life anyway. Have tried to paint me in this narrative of, rah, 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 or they try to do certain things, to put me in a bad spotlight. Try to People have tried to do certain things to put me in a bad spotlight or get me to react a certain type of way, because Mason Jyree, I am a little bit, you know, but my lions know that, my fans know that, they know that, um, and when I say stuff like that, it's like, duh, y'all already know that, y'all know that already. So it's like when people do try to do things like, when people do try to do, clout chasing things or try to do like, like whatever they think they're gonna do, it just never, pans out the way the way they think or whatever. Um, and the point is that when you elevate, people try you. People try you when you elevate. People try you when they feel like they have access to you. When people feel like a person, I'm gonna keep it real. I gotta stop saying when people try you. People try me because they feel like they have access to me on everyday life. I'm not rich yet. I'm not in Hollywood yet. So people from my past, they try me. People try me on a day-to-day basis, and what I'm learning is that they just want a reaction, to try to capitalize off of whatever, they want, whatever, uh, and it's like, let me not say whatever, because it's not whatever they, or to try to capitalize off of me, you know, or to try to put me in a bad light, to try to, take away from my spotlight, or try to take away from what I'm doing for myself, and Um, that's just where I'm at with it. That's one reason why I don't deal with people from my past. That's one reason why I don't deal with people, you know, from, just where I'm from, if I'm being honest with you. I think the biggest thing is, I don't have, that hometown support. And I don't give a fuck if I'm being honest with you. I don't care if I'm being honest. Um, but it's just like, people will try to, set you up. People will people have just tried to knock me off course. That's what I'll say. People have just tried to knock me off course. And you know, just try to make me get me off center, get me off center so I can react or, explode or whatever they think that I'm gonna do or whatever. But it's like I'm such a master of my emotions. Like I don't let stuff get to me, you know. I really have detached from the BS and I really only focus on what genuinely feels me. I really don't focus on anything that I really don't focus on anything that does not give me energy. And if I do address something, if I do speak on something, it's because when I say it, it's the truth and that's what it is. I don't really deal with, I don't really deal with the drama or whatever. I'm doing what I'm doing. If you're new to the Lions, then welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're not new, then you already know what's going on here. I'm Mason Jyree. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And people, that would cause certain people from my past to think they can play in my face. That would cause certain people, to just think they can do, certain things. If I'm being honest with y'all, I have a stalker already, y'all. I have a stalker already, and I sincerely mean this, and I'm not gonna downplay it. I actually should be saying this on here anyway. I have a stalker, keeps she keeps riding by my house. It is a woman, um, and yeah, yeah. Uh, it's weird, it's weird for real, for real, for real, because I'm in a weird spot. I'm not famous yet, but I'm building, notoriety, so I'm in a weird position. I'm known online, but it's just weird. And I have a lot of people who love me and hate me in silence. You know what I mean? I have a lot of people who love me and hate me in silence, and it's like I feel the love and I don't mind the love, but I needed to come forward. I mean, even I like the love behind the scenes. Don't get me wrong. I like the love behind the scenes. It's more so the hate for real. Um, and I just think, not I think I'm just leveling up. If you're new to the Lions, then welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're not new, then if you're not new, it's your boy Mason Jyree. But that's where I'm at. Although, even though what I'm saying, like life is still amazing. Do not take what I'm saying as like, oh, I'm just so down in the dump, because I'm not. I'm actually doing very well. But I'm real. I'm not gonna sit up here and fake the funk like I'm not having, like I'm just, perfect and peachy and my emotions are just all there. I'm great, but it's like I'm still evolving. I'm still like emotionally processing things. Um, and my therapist tells me that this is like just a part of, the part of the like my purpose, just me being an artist, doing what I'm doing. These are questions that typically most artists would ask themselves or just stuff like that, you know. Um, and I just want to be vulnerable here. Me getting a therapist was just because I wanted one. I really just wanted someone to talk to check me, to keep me in order, to keep me in line. Not that I can't keep myself in line, but you never know everything. So yeah, that's really just that. Life is still great. I'm still doing a lot of great things. I'm still working behind the scenes. What I'm ready for all this stuff is just like come to the forefront. I'm ready to be live. I'm ready to be engaging. I'm ready to like to just really get active. But I think on the things that I'm working on right now, it'll tell more of what I'm going through right now behind the scenes as to why I'm not really like, showing my face, why my face in certain aspects, why things are like this right now. What I drop later on is gonna explain that, but it's just like I'm ready to really just like get up out of this. Get up out of this how do I put it? How do I put it? I'm not gonna say a rut because it's not a rut, but I'm just ready to get away from negative vibes, you know what I mean? Because if I'm being honest, it's like I can be very, great, peachy, one of the best people that you meet. But it's like when you cross me, it's one of the worst things that you could do for yourself. Not because of me. It's just because like the energy is just it's just such a cold switch. It's just such a cold freak. It's just such a cold switch for me being nice to a person, and then once they do me wrong, that opposite person is hell. He's hell. He's hell. You know what I mean? And it's like I hate to be ugly. Like I'm keeping it real. I'm the type of person I will get on your ass, but I'll still be like, I hate that I had to give it like that, but you needed that message. I'm not one of those people. Oh, because I'm a mean person or because I'm just aggressive, I'm gonna talk to you any type of way, and I hate to be like that. No, I'm gonna give it to you like this because that's how it needs to be given up. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't want to put my, I'm really about peace for real. You know what I mean? I'm really about peace, and I hate to be at war because I don't do war easy, I don't do war easy. So to the people who are trying to, like nitpick with me and, just do certain stuff, it's like, bitch, listen, let's keep it cool. Yeah, I don't even like that demeanor change. You see how I did the bitch? I don't even like all that. Like, I like to be at peace. You know what I mean? I like to be at peace. I like to be cool. I like to be calm. I like to be collected, you know. In the place that's my home, in the place that where I lay my head, that's supposed to be peaceful. I shouldn't have any negative energy, any negative vibes, any negative anything around me, And I think one thing I've learned is that I can't control the outside, but I can control myself. You know, I can control myself. You know, and that's one of the biggest lessons. That I can learn, that I have learned, I think just I'm ready for a new. You know what I mean? It's like I'm ready for a new. If you're new to the Lions, then welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're not new, then you already know what's going on here. It's your boy Mason Jyree. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But I'm ready for a new. I'm ready for a new. I'm ready for a new start. I'm ready for just. I'm ready for this next era. And I'm not. I feel like the way I'm saying it is I'm just like I'm saying it like it's not going to happen, but it is going to. I already have everything worked out. Everything is already in alignment. It's just that I'm trying to fast forward. I'm trying to fast forward there. And it's like I'm not gonna lie. I don't. My patience is getting better. You know, I'm gonna keep it real. When it comes to the career stuff, I got it. Like the career stuff, I'm good. It's more so my personal life that I need to work on. My personal stuff. The boundaries and just stuff like that. So like my patience, for instance, my patience is it's good, but it's just yeah. Y'all comments. But the God, you can be blessed, and you thank you, thank you, thank you. Good to see you. You make good videos. Thank you so much, Marie, Camille, Omoda. You, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. So I just think that's just very, 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 very important. Um, but like I said, despite everything, life is still great for me. I'm one of those people. It's like I think me doing what I do. Uh, I just have to live me being living me being myself. If I'm being honest, living me being myself, and I had to really learn that the people from my past and all the people, they don't matter. They don't matter at all. Nobody trying to get my attention matters. Nobody trying to do anything. Really anything that does not add to what I'm building, it doesn't matter. It's like I'm myself. And I think it's like I'm realizing so much. If I'm being honest with you, I'm realizing so much. And it's like I'm learning to like be vulnerable and be open and be real, but like still be myself. You know what I mean? And by that, I'm basically saying like I want to stop talking and like I think, and I want to stop being like talking second handed and talking third person and talking and just be, this is what happened. Yeah, they had me fucked up today. This is what it is. This is not what it is. Stuff. Just be is what it is. I think like sometimes I try to talk too subjective, to y'all, and it's like over that. I'm over that as well. It's just so many different things that I'm learning on, in real life. even with enhancing my career, that that are showing me just who I'm becoming for real, and who I'm becoming as a person is a person, is a creative, is an artist, is a mogul, is somebody who is respected, is somebody who is protected, is somebody who is aligned physically, mentally, spiritually. You know, I think I'm not trying to be, some type of spiritual guru as well, but I can't acknowledge, just my spiritual beliefs. I can't help but to acknowledge them. So that just has to be respected, and it's just a part of just who I am as a person. It's a part of just just me. Me being Mason Jyree. You know, um, I'm at the point of my life where I'm at the point of my life where I am actively constructing um, my reality. I'm actively making my dreams a reality. I'm actively, you know, um, creating and bending and morphing. You know, and when I say things like creating and bending and morphing, I mean I'm putting in that work every day. I'm putting in that work every day, and I'm paying what I need to do, and I'm booking this and I'm booking that. I'm doing that. But I'm creating, I'm bending, and I'm morphing. You get my drift? You know what I mean? Um, so that's really just that. Like I said, it's so many more things I want to talk to you guys about over the next couple of course. So just over the next couple of years, just in general, so many different things I want to just be open about. But there's a time and there's a place for everything. You know what I mean? There's a time and there's a place for everything. And I just want to say I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Um, and I want to just say I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. And I'm learning. I'm learning. It's like I've been myself on here. But it's like certain things that I still could do better. It's to really like do what I need to do. Like I said earlier, I want to cultivate a sense of community, not just sporadic, um, not just sporadicness. You know what I mean? Not just people coming in and out. I want to see this. I want to see the lions every day. I want to see the same lions every day. I want to see. I want to mingle with y'all. I want to talk to y'all. I want to get to know y'all more and more. You know what I mean? It's genuinely going to interest me. It's genuinely going to, it's genuinely going to make me feel good. It's genuinely going to make me feel good. And I really want to let y'all know I appreciate y'all. Once we get bigger and bigger, I'm gonna do so many different things for y'all. We keeping the fake hoes out the lions den. We keeping the fake hoes out the lions den. And I just want y'all to know. I just want y'all to know that. Like I said, life is not bad for me. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Like I said earlier, I ain't in Hollywood yet, but you best believe I'm acting like it, boo. Um, so yeah, life is great for me. I want to let y'all know that I love y'all. I'll see y'all very, very soon. It's your boy Mason Jyree, and if you're new to the Lions, then welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're not new, what's going on here? I love you, and I'm on.